Hello my friends, and welcome to my autumnal TBR, where I will be talking about all sorts of autumn feeling books. What that means to me is some mystery, some suspense, some fantasy, some classics, some cozy, some creepy, all sorts of different kinds of vibes. Pretty much every book that I think I'm going to love is on this list, because this is just my reading season where I want to read everything. I do not have my piles organized because I have some that I've requested from the library, some ebooks, some physical books, so it's all over the place. My apologies for those that like a little bit more order, but I just kind of got too excited and there's a lot of books on here. Now, knowing myself, I will not get to all these books. I would love to believe that I could, but I know that I can't. So these are the ones that I would get to in an ideal world, but it won't happen. Let's start out with a book that I don't know anything about and I heard of on Instagram yesterday and instantly hopped over to my library website and put a hold on it. It's called You Are Fatally Invited, and I saw Lexi commented about, or she put up a story about it, and I was like, ooh, that sounds good, sounds perfect for this time of year, and I don't really know anything. What is it? An exclusive thriller writer's retreat hosted on a private island turns lethal when one of the authors is found murdered in this twisty locked room mystery. I love locked room mysteries. Sounds really good. That's all that my library website tells me, and that's fine with me. Yeah, I really like that kind of line between suspense and thriller, but there is like a certain, I feel like the ones that are really written really well are a little too intense for me, but from what Lexi said, this sounds really good. I would really like to get to The Curious Inheritance of Blakely House by Joanna Davidson Politano. I've read like the first paragraph or so, and it sounds great. Her books are a lot of them are very fitting for this season, and the cover of this one looks like it's going to be. I think we're probably set in the Edwardian period. 1901. Clockmaker and tinkerer Sydney receives a most unusual inheritance. It's the island estate of an estranged uncle she's never met. Seems almost alive, revealing and hiding its secrets at will. It's filled with remarkable inventions, including an intriguing, unfinished automaton. Sydney is itching to get her skilled hands on. Yeah, that has perfect vibes, and I think it came out so long ago, I definitely need to read it. I also have A Study of Shattered Spells. I got this from the Kickstarter. It's when I was looking for a Harry Potter based book, or like a similar vibe, but where the main characters are teachers. This was recommended, so I got it from Kickstarter, and now my husband and my daughter have read it, and they've lowered my expectations. So I still want to read it, I'm just a little less excited about it now. So those are a couple. And then let's just talk about Miss Marple for a minute. I have not read all the short stories that involve Miss Marple. I've started this collection and I'm 93 pages in. I'm not sure if I've read some of these short stories via other short story collections, Agatha Christie's short story collections, but I would like to work my way through this a bit this fall. As well, I have The Life and Times of Miss Jane Marple. I really don't know what this is. A delightful and affectionate profile of Agatha Christie's famous amateur sleuth. Shatona sent this to me. It's been a while now, maybe a couple years, and I want to read it, but I wanted to make sure that I had read all of the Miss Marple stories first, and I've read all of the full-length novels, I believe. So it seems like the perfect time to finally read this. This is by Anne Hart, and I'm curious to see what it is. It's a biography of Jane Marple, so that sounds fun to me. Then, I feel bad that I haven't read this one yet, but the word oak is a very autumnal feeling word to me. I have book 2 in the Turum archive. This one's Mantles of Oak and Iron by Janelle Leanne Schmidt. I really enjoyed book 1. I have zero excuses as to why I haven't read this, because I enjoyed book 1. It's like, obviously a person should continue the series, but I often just struggle with getting into series. So we were following Graydon and one of his friends. I think they were going to a school in a city, and their airship was attacked by pirates, and I don't remember exactly how things ended. Hopefully the beginning is a good refresher. Some authors do that really well, and I can continue with this series. It's a cool world that I enjoyed being in. It's got a map, so that's always good. Oh, it's got numerous maps. So would definitely like to continue with this. One of the books I got for my birthday that was gifted to me by Holly is The Case of the Philosopher's Ring. This is by John Watson, so it's supposed to be kind of another like Sherlock-esque story. This has terrible reviews on Goodreads. So I'm gonna give it a try, and if it's as terrible as the Goodreads reviews say, I'll just, keep it on my shelf as a pretty book, because I love Sherlock. So I'm very curious about this. When was this one actually written though? I think I tried to look it up before. This was written in 1978. So yeah, low expectations, but hopefully it'll be fun. Then I recently found this in a little free library, How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Also have low expectations for this one, but I was like, it's a very seasonal feeling book. I'm gonna give it a try. So when Louise finds out her parents have died, she dreads going home. And yes, okay, that's right. She doesn't want to deal with her family home stuffed to the rafters with the remnants of her father's academic career and her mother's lifelong obsession with puppets and dolls. So I legit, when I was doing my teaching internship, Jared and I had to move to a different town. We were renting an apartment in a basement, and the woman that lived above us, she's the one we had to give our check to each month, literally had a house full of dolls. Sweetest old lady, but I was like, if there was ever a time that I was going to be murdered, it was that time. And she never murdered us. We made it out, but dolls are creepy, and then puppets on top of it. Like, that's just fun, creepy vibes here. Might have some dreams, some memory type dreams when I read that one. I've got The Rook by Stephen James. You guys, I need to continue this series and see if I'm going to continue it. This is the second book following Agent Patrick Bowers, and from what I remember of the first book, The Pawn, the author Stephen James is a believer, but his book was very dark. And I mean that it's like they're classified as thrillers. They're also kind of a little bit mystery thriller, but like also a little bit suspense. So I would like to continue with this. The only thing I didn't love is that Bowers has a teenage stepdaughter he didn't get along with, and I think their relationship is they're going to get along better, hopefully, throughout the series. That's what the end of the other book was leaving me with, if I remember correctly. It's been a couple years, so yeah, I'd like to read it. Then I just recently hauled this one. This is the Shadowed Witness, the second book in the Secrets of Kincaid series. I really enjoyed book one earlier this year, and this one, a photographer, her name is Allie. She believes she witnessed a murder, but all her friends and family don't believe her. She's also she woke up with bruises on her neck and a foggy memory. So she believes she survived an attack, but everyone thinks she just fell down the stairs. So yeah, I like that kind of unreliable narrator vibes of this one. Would be perfect for this season. Two more that I shared in that book haul just recently, so I won't talk about them too much, is There Will Be Wolves. This is a short story and poetry collection that all have stories to do with wolves. So some of the titles are There Will Be Wolves, The Secret of Shifting, My Husband the Werewolf, The Academy and the Kiss, The Frog Wolf, Vindor, Wolves Among Us. And I believe that these are, there's some funny ones. We've got a vampire and a werewolf duo who pull off an art gallery heist, but the vampire almost always ruins everything. Then we've got some Jack the Ripper stuff. This is published by 20 Hills Publishing, so while it's going to have a creep factor, I think there will also be some light to it. And then speaking of light, there's What Darkness Fears. This subtitle is Light Dawns in Darkness. This is another 20 Hills short story collection where light wins out. Some of the short stories / poem titles are, part one's called A Walk in the Dark, Part 2 is called A Slash of Humor, and Part 3 In the Dread of Night. So a few of them are Light Dawns in the Darkness, People Watchers, Where Light Shines, The Ghost in the Thicket, Existence, Reflections of Shadows. Yeah, I think that will be a good short story collection. Okay, this one I just got from the library. I've got a streak of library books here. I didn't realize when I requested it, it was going to be so long. It's September by Rosamund Pilcher. I read Snow in April and really enjoyed it. But like now we're more than halfway through September, and can I commit to a 560 plus page book? I don't think so. September is an extraordinary month in Rosamund Pilcher's native Scotland, when a brief but glorious summer is ending and the long grey winter has yet to begin. It is a month when marriages are proposed and break up, when promises are made, hearts are broken, and long buried family secrets come to life. Begins her tale as spring comes to Scotland and the hills burst into life. Interesting. Why is it called September? With a dance planned for September. Oh, so maybe someone needs to read this throughout the summer. Yeah, I suspect I won't get to this, but in an ideal world, I would. Then there's this one, Alone in the Woods. This is a middle grade story that I originally got this book out because I, at that point, still needed a book for Tiffany's summer book bingo that was wilderness/survival. And these are kids that get stuck in the wilderness or something. Friends go on vacation. Alex isn't herself when they get to the cabin, and Jocelyn reaches a breaking point during a rafting trip that goes horribly wrong. And then they're lost and stranded. So we'll see if that's an option for me. I also have The Nature of Disappearing by Kimmy Cunningham Grant. I never got into, she has another book, The Silent Woods. I started that one and never got into it, so I'm a little hesitant about this one, but I like that it's short. Emmeline doesn't let herself think about the past, how she and her best friend Janessa barely speak anymore. Okay, let's see. Her new life is simple and safe. She lives alone in her Airstream and works as a fishing and hunting guide in scenic Idaho. Then Tyler shows up with news that Janessa's missing. Then she's propelled back into the world she worked so hard to forget. Janessa has become a social media star documenting her #vanlife adventures with her rugged boyfriend. She hasn't posted lately though, and when Emmeline realizes the most recent photo doesn't match with its caption, she reluctantly joins Tyler to find her old friend. It might be a good read. Then Assistant to the Villain. I've heard about this book through a few different people, and I like the title. Also like that this one has red edges. I don't feel like that really goes, but I don't know. Sprayed edges are always fun. Assistant Wanted. Notorious high-ranking villain seeks loyal, level-headed assistant for unspecified office duties, supporting staff for random mayhem and terror, and other dark things in general. Discretion is a must. Excellent benefits. With ailing family to support, Evie's employment status isn't just important, it's vital. So when a mishap with Ren Dawn's most infamous villain results in a job offer, naturally she says yes. Yeah, it's an interesting concept. Have you guys read it? Let me know. Should I prioritize it? Then there's 10,000 Stitches, which is the second book after Half a Soul in the Regency fairy tale series. I've heard excellent things about this. We are following Regency housemaid Euphemia Reeves as she has acquired a fairy godfather. Unfortunately, he has no idea what he's doing. Effie has most inconveniently fallen in love with the dashing Mr. Benedict Ashbrook. There's only one problem. Effie is a housemaid, and a housemaid cannot marry a gentleman. And then she takes some kind of magical bargain, I guess. Then we've got A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. This is one that I'm always like, I don't know, I feel like I should like one of her books at some point. Maybe this is the one. Lesson 1 of the Scholomance. Is this a series? I really don't even know. I don't even know what it's about. But I've DNF'd both Uprooted and Spinning Silver by her. I decided that Orion Lake needed to die after the second time he saved my life. Everyone loves Orion Lake. Everyone else, that is. As far as I'm concerned, he can keep his flashy combat magic to himself. I'm not joining his pack of adoring fans. It's got a cool little map of a building here. Oh yeah, and then I've also read the first book in her Temeraire series, His Majesty's Dragon, which I thought was okay, but I didn't laugh. Like, she has not really proven herself as an author to me, but I still keep trying her books. And the final book that I have here is Habits for a Sacred Home, 7 Practices from History to Anchor and Restore Modern Families by Jennifer Pepito. This just seems like a nice, cozy book to read right now. Change the world by changing your home one habit at a time. Push back chaos by finding your own rhythm. Eliminate distractions so your home becomes a place of refuge. Foster a family culture of simplicity and stability. I really enjoy Jennifer Pepito, so I would like to read that. And there's the list of the books I decided to cap this video at that I would love to be able to get to this autumn. Let me know what's on your autumn TBR, any rave reviews / praise about any of these books that I've just talked about. Help me bump some of them up on my list, please. Once again, I'm so excited that it is autumnal reading time. We've got a chillier day today as I'm filming this. I've got my autumnal sweater on. Life is good. Thanks so much for hanging out with me again.